Hello, hello. Is live at the waterhole. It's the 17th of July, it's 12:30 in sunny South Africa. My name is Kelly and I'm going to be with you for the next couple of hours attempting to answer your questions and having a look to see what we can see on these fabulous cameras that we have set up in so many different locations. Starting here at the delightful Tower Game Lodge, somewhere I know very well, with some waterbucks having a little snack in the water by the looks of it. So please do remember, we are live and interactive, and my favourite part of the show is hearing from everyone that has joined us today. Whether you are a long-time viewer or newbie, please send your questions through to wildearth.tv/questions, or you can scan the QR code to communicate with us directly. You can also join the conversation on X using the hashtag WildEarth, or again, scan the QR. Zebra's in the back just having a little snooze by the looks of things. You can also send your questions and comments through via WhatsApp on +27 786 302 336. Oh look, we've got a little moorhen at the back there, I think, having a little bath. These Ellipson waterbuck have these very clear species identifiers, shall we say. There's lots of other ways to tell they are waterbuck. Very shaggy coats, very regularly found very close to water. They are very water dependent. They will use water as a method of escape from predators. They will bolt into the water, not always effective, but definitely a bit of a deterrent. These very clear white bottom circles. Someone asked me a while ago actually here what the reason was, and the best I came up with, I did actually do some reading. We normally say they're a follow me sign, but sort of what other functions could they fulfill, and I didn't really come up with much, to be honest. I do enjoy hearing from everyone and getting people's questions, because it makes me think about things that I've never really considered before. Something I enjoy very much. Penelope Kenyon, hello. Thank you for joining. You're saying hello to Wild Earth Zoomies and chatters. Enjoy today's sightings. Back at you, Penelope Kenyon. I fully intend to. Look at these waterbuck. They're having a nice watery snack there around lunchtime. Fuzzy Dunlop. Oh, looks like there were some lions at Old Donyo about 7 hours ago. That's interesting. What time is it now? 12. Okay, they might have disappeared off into the shade somewhere. Maybe they came for a drink, or it could be when it was nice and cool they were maybe on patrols for the evening. Duran Mello, hello. Hello to you too, Duran Mello. Happy Thursday to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Happy Thirsty Thursdays. These waterbuck are indeed enjoying some nice Thirsty Thursday snacks. Deb D, good morning to you too, Deb D, from a very hot and humid Pennsylvania in the US. We are not hot and humid here at the moment in the Lowfell, which is a fabulous relief. I'm really, really enjoying winter this year. But I'm glad you are over there enjoying your very hot and humid Pennsylvania. Okay, these waterbuck look like they're settling down for a little nap. Let's head across to Camelthorne and see what our hippopotamus. Oh, look at the big croc. I'm sure he's going to be there a little while longer. Let's go to Camelthorne and we will see what is happening over there. More animals in the water. This elephant is, I don't know what he's doing. He was just like chilling there. Obviously concluded on that particular activity. It looks to me like I've seen elephants often coming in for a drink from that inlet pipe here at Camelthorne, but it looks like he might be waiting his turn. I'm not sure if there's another elephant there already, but this looks like an elephant that's waiting for something to me. Plenty of hippos there in the water. When the first time I saw these cameras, there's lots of hippo loitering on the bank going on, which confused me a little bit. But these hippos enjoying the cool water here at Camel. Really interesting things on this camera. Actually, it's always very exciting when we get new activity on these cameras or new setups. Trying to get to know some of the individuals.
This is an unbelievable afternoon. Oh, even our hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Whoop. Woo. This is action-packed.
Let's head back across to Tau. I'm interested to see what was possibly going to happen with that crocodile and that waterbuck. They were very close together. I don't think that crocodile will be trying to eat that particular waterbuck, but I have been known to say that before. Look. Look who's turned up since we left. Nice little breeding herd of elephants come for a drink. Kaz, hi, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to be here. Someone is asking, when does the ring start showing on a waterbuck foal? Foal? What? Foal? I don't think they're foals. Cow? Calf? Huh. I don't know what a baby waterbuck's called. I don't think it's a foal because that's equine. I know waterbuck is a bull, but I don't think it's calf. And I don't think it's a lamb. Huh. Anyone that's listening, what would you call a baby waterbuck? I think I'd just call it a baby waterbuck. Google, okay, apparently it is a calf, but that feels funny to me. That's what I would have said, because normally it's cow and bull is a calf, and a female waterbuck is a cow and a male is a bull, technically making that baby waterbuck a calf. But anyway, they're born with them, as far as I'm aware. We don't often see super brand new baby but waterbuck I've seen have had that ring on its backside already. Hello, Diane from Cape Town. You always say they sat on a white painted toilet seat. Indeed, I have also heard that before. Those, the other species of waterbuck are the divisive waterbuck. I think they're slightly, possibly ever so slightly darker, but they don't have that white feature on there. Look how big this male elephant is compared to this female. You don't realise the size difference till you see it like that. Oh, is he making a nuisance of himself? The divisive waterbuck, which are found in other areas of Africa, they do not have that white buttock circle. Is that crocodile? That crocodile's got its nose dangled in the water, I think. Hello, Catherine. You're saying hello, Kelly and Mika. Thank you. Oh, that goodie's in that crocodile. Thank you very much for joining us, Catherine. Your presence is, as always, hugely appreciated. Okay, I have some homework to hand in from yesterday, and I did my homework. The first set of homework was someone said that it had been witnessed that monitor lizards drinking from cows' udders. I could not find a record of that, nor could any of my web-based digging. So I couldn't find anything on that. I can definitely confirm, though, that lizards cannot digest milk. It would give them basically an upset stomach. They don't produce lactase. I think it was it Deb that said that? I can't remember. Someone confirmed that. They are indeed correct. They do not produce lactase. That breaks down the sugar in lactose, which is found in milk. So they couldn't digest milk even if they were indeed suckling directly from cows. And if I was a monitor lizard, I wouldn't want to stand underneath a cow because you might get squashed. So I couldn't find any record of that. We did have a super interesting sighting yesterday of a monitor lizard in the open for a long time, feeding on what looked like a manky old bit of catfish, if I'm honest. But our monitor lizard was relishing in said piece of old catfish. So that is my handed in first piece of homework. I have more, but you will have to stay with us to hear what other homework I will be handed in. Let's go over to Cat-Eye Pan. I think we've got some more elephants there, but this is pumping here today at Tau. We've got kudu and crocodiles and all sorts. Ah, ooh, look at the dust. What's been going on here? Oh, it might be my dreadful laptop that's making it look dusty. But there are definitely some elephants here at Cat-Eye Pan on Oliphants West, very close to where I actually am, so the temperatures will be similar. It's a beautiful, must be 26, 27 today, lovely clear skies, an absolute delight here this time of year. This is why there's been dust, because we've got elephants kicking it around. This naughty little boy, lick. Super endearing seeing these. I fully believe wild animals do. I fully believe they do engage in play, youngsters and sometimes adults alike. It is dusty. This is why it's dusty. I am actually attending a week-long workshop in August, the culmination of which it's based on behaviour and how animals learn, and I'm taking my canine feline expertise out to basically train captive wildlife is the short version, and look at behaviours, look at how enrichment works in captive environments. I think we're going to be teaching pelicans to stand on things, and I'm super excited, and it culminates in a visit to a place with elephants. I might be slightly more wary than some of the other people that are going. I've obviously had lots of experience of wild elephants, which you give plenty of space to, but I'm actually really excited to observe from a different perspective of captive wildlife, as opposed to seeing how many of the behaviours differ from fully wild elephants to captive wildlife. I'm super excited. I'm going to be gone for a week and I can't wait. Looks like our dust-making elephants are on their way out. So let's head over to the delightful Old Onyo. Let's have a good scan, see if those lions that were there 7 hours ago might still be in that area. And the best way to do it, honestly, is to see what all the other animals are feeling and have a look at their body language, because they will tell us long before we know. Mr. Elemental, I fully concur. You're saying if you were a cow, you wouldn't let a monitor lizard within 10 metres of my teats. Nor would I, to be perfectly honest. I did quite a lot of reading actually yesterday, Mr. Elemental, and it seems there are lots of myths and stories around monitor lizards and snakes drinking directly from Yeah, Mister, that looks really funny on the screen. If you're a cow, I would not let a lizard near me. That's tickled me seeing that on the screen there. There are lots of myths around and snakes drinking directly from cows' udders, along with lizards. And it's believed that sometimes snake bite was possibly used as a, wow, that's really cool. We've got all those. This giraffe's like, excuse me, I was waiting there. Sometimes in some cultures, if cows are suffering from mastitis or something like that, it's possibly believed that it could be caused by snake bite, but I couldn't find any records of that happening in my depths of digging yesterday. Gauta.
For years, we've shared virtual wildlife. Now, let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur, and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. We'll be
And you pretend like you're a serviceman, eh?
Got no idea what's going on this reserve.
Expecting the unexpected.
Are we stuck down there?
What am I trying to do?
So we have another giant of Mabula.
That was incredible.
This is unbelievable.
It's going to be a spectacular afternoon.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing.
Incredible.
Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. The best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
All the silt and stuff at the bottom of that pan. Gauta, sorry if you went missing then. Good morning. Is it true that elephants' memory is huge and they don't forget? They are, in my opinion, it's quite difficult to scientifically prove memory capacity. All animals can learn, and learning is basically remembering. Elephants are known to remember things. Matriarchs will pick particular paths through dangerous areas, or they will know where, or they will remember particular trees, and they will go and feed on those particular trees, and they will teach their family members to do it. Whether or not they don't forget anything, I'm not sure how we could prove that, but they are certainly known, and in my opinion, they carry a lot of emotional intelligence, in my opinion, or what, anyway. I know it's never happened to me, but I know stories of some people that have shouted at elephants or chased them away from something, and those elephants have reacted differently to their voice when they have seen them when they've been out in vehicles. So they certainly don't forget some stuff. Let's leave these zebras squishing up all the silt in this pan. See what's happening there at I can't say that properly. Ongomyo. Apologies. And I think we've got some springbok over there. See, springbok are beautiful animals. I haven't spent much time with springbok, to be honest. Beautiful markings. Those very, very white bellies, believed to help with temperature control. So the sun hits the floor and then bounces back off those white bellies. Ongoma. Oh, Etosha. I've never been to Etosha. I would really like to go though. One of my guiding qualifications, I had to design a full itinerary for a trip around a natural area, and I actually designed a trip around Etosha, a trip to and through Etosha, but I've never actually been. They do very well in very arid areas. They will drink water, obviously, because we just saw one drinking water. But they are quite well adapted for dry living. I'm just trying to double check. I do know these springbok. Their scientific name is Antidorcus marsupialis, and I know why. I was just trying to check the actual working mechanics of it. They basically have it's almost like a pouch on, I think it's at the top of their tail, that they almost invert when they're displaying. We have this lovely big elephant here, back at Aldonio. You see how everyone makes way for this big boy. Everyone makes space for an elephant. Oh wow, yes, I would 100% like to go and have a look at Tao. There's something interesting occurring with the crocodile, so let's go try and work out what it is. He's driving like, come on. Ha! Wow. How interesting is that? That does look like mating, but why have I got it in my head that of crocodiles at Tau are all female. I could be completely wrong. If anyone can confirm, not that they're definitely not going to be mating, but we could potentially see mounting behaviour in a single sex group of animals. How interesting. Waterbug's completely unconcerned. See, I personally would struggle to tell the difference between a male and a female crocodile just by looking at them. This is really interesting. I've never seen this before. And I haven't noticed any mating behaviours between these crocodiles at Tau, but I'm gonna... Give me a second. See, I should really know what sex the crocodiles are at Tau, because I used to work there, but I do not. It is, there's definitely, you see now that the lighter one was, it looked like the lighter one was mounting the darker one, but now they're side by side. Maybe this is courtship behaviour. So crocodiles, they do often mate in the winter months, and then I think eggs are normally laid sort of October to December. Okay, this my full reptile expert book, it does indeed say the male rubs his head and chin on the female's back, neck and head, and then twists his tail beneath hers in order to copulate. It's the exact description, so let's watch and see if that's what's happening here. Mating crocodiles, that's a first for me. Catherine, I've also never seen mating crocodiles, and that's why I enjoy these cameras, because yeah, look, that's a definite rubbing of chin across back, neck and head. This is crocodile mating, I think. Let's see if he twists his tail underneath. That pale one was indeed, it did look like, oh they're done. It does, according to this, it does only say a couple of minutes, but may occur several times over many days. So watch this space, hey? That was super cool. Look, they've gone now. But that looked like a very gentle undertaking to me. As we've seen many times before, that's often not the way in the animal kingdom. But that didn't, to me, look like a frantic interaction of aggression or chasing or anything like that. How interesting. We must watch this space, hey? Ivan, you're asking, what is the most soothing animal behaviour I've observed? Do you mean soothing to me or soothing to the animals? I'm just trying to think. Lots of animals self-soothe in different ways. Grooming in animals often is a self-soothing behaviour in wildlife and domestic animals. So allo grooming, while it does have a function as well, is a soothing activity. Soothing for me, probably a sleeping puppy. That will soothe me, watching puppies sleep.
This unfolds in front of you. What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to. My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. I grew up mostly in the Lowveld. I grew up here pretty much on the southern side of Kruger National Park, a place called Marlow Park, for most of my years. Something surprising about myself, I did play drums in a band for many years. Best sighting I presented, we found Columba and the two cubs, and the cubs are just way big.
Check these two. I'm not sure if this was the two that we just thought we saw mating, but I do definitely think I'm going to let someone from town know that we did just see that behaviour. That's super interesting, and that's why it's so... These cameras are such a gift, because animals, despite our best efforts, will often not feel comfortable enough to engage in, not all the time. I mean, I've seen lots of animals mating before when I've been driving in vehicles, but we know crocodiles will often change their behaviour. They might not have been comfortable enough to mate with lots of vehicles present, so it's such a gift. But I definitely think the female looked like it was possibly this paler one that's just come out of the water here. Joanne Mello, you're enjoying the crocs, and they are indeed well-sized crocodiles. Crocodiles only reach sexual maturity between the ages of about 12 and 15, and only if they're above about 2.3, 2.5 meters. So these are well-sized crocodiles indeed. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, this lighter crocodile on the right here. How can we? Because I know these crocs are all quite different colours. This lighter one on the right here has very clear banding on the tail. So it's dark stripe 2, dark stripe 2, dark stripe 2. So maybe we can use that as an identifying factor to keep an eye and see if there's going to be. I think we have had egg laying before, but no young ones as far as I'm aware. So let's leave these two possible lovers snoozing here at Tau and head across to Moella. This is so nice seeing all these different species together. Zebra, there's our wildebeest on the left. Let's just have a look. Let me see if I can count and work out how many zebra there are here. Yeah, I think there's well over 100 zebra here. This is so nice to see. And it feels really peaceful. All of these animals, look at those elephant tracks going up from the left-hand side of the screen there. You can see those clear big elephant footprints. This was covered yesterday, but there's certainly lots of animals still in this area. So this migration is about, it's not the migration, but somewhere around 30,000 animals pass through this area. I'm not actually sure how long they hang around for, whether or not they will fully depart, or this is going to end up being some of their home grounds. So the second piece of my homework that I wanted to hand in from yesterday was World Snake Day. Fascinating chats, and I did some lovely reading around snakes. They really are amazing creatures, often misunderstood. And someone said there was an invasive snake species that had taken up residence in Wales called the Asclepian snake. And they were 100% correct. The Asclepian snake, that's actually what it's called, is originally from Italy, I believe. And they can get up to 2 meters. And it's believed they escaped from a zoo in the 1960s, I assume in Wales. And there's now a couple of breeding populations of these snakes, one of up to about 200 individuals. Not all adults, there's some young snakes in the area, 2 populations in Wales, one somewhere around London area as well, and these snakes can get up to 2 meters, so they're big snakes, hey? So yeah, keep a lookout for Asclepian snakes in Wales if you are anywhere near Wales. But interestingly, Asclepian, Asclepian snake, that's actually what they're called, and I'm not sure if anyone has any interest in or understanding of some of the mythology up in our night skies. The rod of Asclepius comes from a myth around the constellation of Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus was the medicine man. And I won't go into it too much, but long story short, he was able to give the gift of reincarnation, but it was frowned upon. So he was placed in the night sky in the constellation of Ophiuchus, also known as Asclepius, and he carries a rod with a snake wrapped around it. And that is still the symbol of the World Health Organization. There is a rod with a snake wrapped around it, the rod of Asclepius, and this snake that originates from Italy, now found in Wales, is called the Asclepian snake. So maybe that's exactly where this phrasing comes from in Greek mythology. So if you find a snake in Wales and it's really big, there could be some very interesting mythological history to it. Okay, so Eagle Lover, you are asking, where will the wildebeest at Moella migrate to? As usual with migrations, it's often a sort of circular. They don't go to a place and stay there. The migratory routes are sort of resource dependent, really. They're water dependent. So Moella Lodge is close to the Boteti River, known as the Boteti River migration. So during the dry season, which is now May to October, animals move towards the Boteti River, which is basically this area here where Moella Lodge is found. The Boteti River is the edge of the Machari Pans National Park. And these herds move up to 500 kilometres, so they really do travel. And then during the wet season, so November to April, same as here in the Lowveld, they'll go back towards the Machari Pans, and so the cycle continues. So these zebras, we should keep seeing high numbers for a little while yet. There is more water availability.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because I've... best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
Every month, something wild lands in your inbox. From rare sightings and behind-the-scenes secrets to expert stories, seasonal changes, and exclusive travel opportunities, the Wild Earth Journal is your free monthly mailer, packed with the magic of the wild straight from the field. It's fun, it's free, it's full of surprises. Sign up now on the Wild Earth website.
Catherine, you're saying they should be in the Delta by now. Catherine, you're saying you think they should be in the Delta by now with hardly any food around. I guess we watch this space. I do find animal movement absolutely fascinating. And it's always interesting when all the migratory birds return. We sometimes run a book on when we're first going to hear that first woodlands kingfisher arrive. Melanistic marble. You recognise a Caminatosha called Okokoyo. Not sure of the spelling. It's good enough for me to be able to read it. So well done. You've also stayed at Vic Falls Lodge but didn't see the vultures being fed. I would love to go up to Etosha, but maybe one day. I have been to Victoria Falls briefly, but all fabulous places to visit. Talking about birds feeding, I would love to go over and have a look at the nest, if we could, of a rose eagle rather, and see what's happening there. I enjoyed that sighting very much yesterday. Let's head across there and have a look and see what our chickie chick is doing. Our Verreaux's, or black Verreaux's eagle chick is just over a month old now. Okay, so this looks, could you drop your head a bit, please, big eagle? This does look like a female Verreaux's eagle to me. She's got quite a lot of white there on her back. Look at that. Just duck your head down a little bit. There we go. Oh, these birds are stunning. I got really excited here yesterday, and I'm quite excited here again, obviously. And we saw a fascinating behaviour here yesterday, and I don't think I grasped how interesting it was until I did some background reading on it yesterday. And we saw this adult flicking around what appeared to be a dussie. So dussies are the main food source of these Verreaux's eagles. They will eat lots of other things, but they often eat dussies. It was a little round thing with 4 legs, so assumed dussie. Ah, look at your little black feathers coming, little cheek cheek. And for a while, they both just sort of looked at this dussie, and to me, it appeared that the adult was sort of encouraging the youngster to pick it apart itself. It didn't work. So very delicately and slowly started peeling bits off this dussie, and just feeding tiny little bits to this chick. And then it was quite unpleasant to watch. If anyone's eating lunch, turn your volume down. Because I'm going to describe what happened. It peeled out what appeared to be a bit of intestine, or at least something very long and stringy, and gave it to the chick. And then she peeled out another bit and sort of held it and then ate it. And then she took the stringy bit off the chick and ate it herself. The chick was sort of half swallowed it, and she took it back again. It wasn't very pleasant to watch. And at the time, I guessed that maybe that adult didn't want that chick to have that intestine. And it turned out I was right, because I did quite a lot of reading on it. And it turns out that adults will selectively feed chicks. And they do not want to give chicks intestines because they can carry lots of parasites in the intestines. So bacteria, parasites. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Or not. And that is, they're also more difficult to digest. The outside of an intestine is sort of type of muscle. So that's not but not muscle in a good way. Quite difficult to digest. Chicks don't have a very strong or as strong a digestive system as the adults. Also, the nutrients in intestines aren't very high. Yesterday, but it's confirmed if that's a Dussie, Dussies are herbivores, there's minimal nutrition in whatever that Dussie's been eating in that intestine, and that's exactly what happened. The adult eagle, in error, gave that chick a bit of intestine, and to me, this is possibly fairly high-end behavioural anthropomorphism, so excuse me. It almost looked to me like the adult gave a chick a bit of intestine and then pulled a bit out for herself or themselves, realised it was intestine, and then took it back off the chick, which I thought was really, really interesting. So it almost didn't even look like instinctive selective feeding. It looked considered to me, almost like an afterthought. The adult took it back off the chick, which I actually found really, really interesting. And I'm going to go and potentially try and re-watch that clip on a personal level, because, like, behaviourally and thought process wise, I thought that was really, really interesting. So I'm really glad we saw that yesterday. And I'm glad I decided to go and do some more reading around it. But I thought that was very, very cool. Dark Main Lover, hello. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon or morning, afternoon. But either way, thank you very much for joining us, and it is great to be here. Melanistic Marble. You're very white, black eagle chick, yes. Oh, how things change. But yeah, this little one is slowly starting to develop those little, you can just see there, little tiny bits of black on those wingtips. And we know many birds, many animals change colour rapidly as they mature. Melanistic Marble, yes, the adults do have some white on. The female actually has, without comparing it to the male, it's difficult to tell, but the female has more white on her back and also under those tail coverts as well. Shouldn't they be called pied? Yeah, probably, but the bird naming, what are they called? The bird naming consortium, for want of a better word, they make some interesting choices at the best of times. So at least this is close. It's an eagle and it's got black on it, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's when... No, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I was going to give multiple examples of birds. Who am I to judge? But yeah, I thought that was absolutely fascinating from a... I mean, it makes sense physiologically that adult animals don't want to give baby animals things that aren't good for them, but the fact that that adult went back and reviewed what it had done, I found very, very interesting. They are absolutely stunning, these Verreaux's eagles, though. Verreaux's eagles, black eagles, I never know anymore. No, Melanistic Marble, that hasn't got enough white on it to be called pied, I don't think. It actually looks... Maybe this is the male now. Now I'm second guessing myself. I thought I saw quite a big chunk of white on that. It's almost like a V between the wings on their back, the females, but I don't know. Eagle lover, you're saying if there's sun on the nest during warmer months, parents will shade over chick with their wings to protect it from the heat. Yes, yeah. Vultures are known for doing that as well. Birds really do show some exceptional childcare skills. I can't think of what the right word is. Young raising abilities. They do. You think how hard some of these, especially these small passerines and things, and the bigger birds, but my brain is going to, I don't know if there's anyone in the UK, but there is a program called Spring Watch that I used to watch many years ago, and they used to put cameras on things like blue tit nests, and I can't remember the numbers. I could go back and check, but those adult birds, male, female, they are in and out multiple times a day with food for the youngsters, but like constantly. One of them doesn't sort of have a bit of a sit down and the other one has a go, and then they swap. It's both parents. They just fly backwards and forwards all the time bringing food, and I know that's how nature works, but the care and effort that goes into raising those young birds is amazing. You think about some of the mammal species, I don't know, zebra or something, yeah, that, you know, the female zebra gives birth and the female the baby suckles from the female, and that's a zebra, not a penguin, which I apparently got wrong the other day. And they will try and keep them safe from predators, and they have to stay hydrated enough and get enough nutrition to produce milk. But compared to the way birds have to care for their young, constantly finding dassies or insects or whatever it is they're feeding their little ones, it really is quite spectacular, the parental care that's shown in birds. Most of the time, or some of the time. Oh, Raw, hi, sorry, no, the snake that is found in Wales, the invasive species, the Asclepius snake, is not venomous. Sorry, I should have pointed that out. If there's now hundreds of people in Wales running around in a panic, no, they're not venomous. But big though, I was really surprised that they get up to 2 meters. That's a big snake, even for South African snake levels. So I didn't find any, I did more sort of science words reading rather than images or anything, but I'm sure there might be sightings of these snakes recorded somewhere in Wales and people having a bit of a freak out, I would have thought. So if you are in Wales and you see a 2 meter snake, don't worry. Sorry, Raw, if you're in Wales and you were starting to close windows and doors. So that is my homework from that black eagle's nest, and I am going to go back and watch that clip again because cognition-wise, I found that absolutely fascinating. But let's head over to Serendella, see who we have got there. I know we quite often see buffalo there, which I find quite cool. But let's go to Serendella and see who have we got. No.
I met this remarkable rhino bull, whose name is Samson, last year in a place of extraordinary beauty, history and story. I'm going back there to see him in October, and I think you should come with me to his mysterious mountain fastness.
Step into the heart of Africa from the comfort of your home.
Female leopard tracks over here.
Join our expert guides for a live 3-hour safari where every moment is real, unscripted, and unforgettable. Ask questions.
Animals rely on their senses.
Share your thoughts and be part of the experience as we explore together. Safari Live.
That elephant is having a blast. Look at both of them, both of them. That must be a pretty solid solid log they've got going on there. Both of them, look. No, man, out of the way. Let's watch the scratching elephants. Don't chase them. Those two little ones were quite happy there having a scratch, and now this one's gonna... That is hilarious. I don't really know what to say. Right, that's that scratch then, I guess. Yeah, that was excellent work from all elephants scratching there. Some definite, solid bum scratch work. Kaz, hopefully they don't get a splinter. No, that would potentially be quite uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. So I'm going to say, Francis, you're asking, do birds ever kill their own chicks? Like infanticide equivalent of birds? Yes, absolutely. And it is infanticide. We often see it in... We had a camera that happened on. I feel like that's ringing a bell. It does happen. Often many of the raptors or vultures, they will lay 2 eggs. It sounds dreadful, but one is kind of an insurance egg, they say. One egg will normally, it's always the egg that hatches first, that is the stronger chick. Sometimes that secondary chick will, sometimes they survive, but if they are, where was that other, can anyone help me there at FC? I feel like there was a camera at some point in the last year. Was it a falcon nest? And I feel like one of the adults killed a chick. I've got a residual memory of it. Thank you. Yeah, if we could try and find out. I'm sure I've got a memory of... It was... One of the adults was seen, like, picking a chick up and flinging it around or Okay, apologies anyone if I vanished, but we are back here at El Donyo in Kenya. Zebras have been sidelined. In place of these 3 rather large elephant bulls.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
I'm restreaming. I'm opening VLC. We have a little family of warthogs here. And a zebra. Excellent. I will continue, although I am live, and continue here at Aldonio. Little and large here. John Cloud's warthogs. Yes, we don't see them too often here. I would be, with the frequency we see so many ginormous elephants here, I would also be a little bit dubious about spending too much time here. But this little family looks very relaxed. This pan has definitely decreased in size a little bit, and unsurprisingly with the amount of footfall we're seeing here. Of all my behaviour ponderings, I've still never quite worked out why elephants do that. Animals do what benefits them most. That's just how it goes. But I can never really see, other than potential play, why elephants so regularly suck up water and then drop most of it. Maybe they're rinsing their mouths out. But it would be like us picking up, or making an effort to reach over something, pick up a bottle of water and then throw it over our shoulder, which I don't really understand. You know, I might understand it a little bit more if they're playing in water, or if they're standing in a in a dam or splashing through a river. Maybe they don't, maybe it gets to their mouth and they realise there's lots of silt in it. That seems to be the only logical explanation to me. Because it touches their mouth, it touches their tongue, and they go and spit. And yeah, that must be the only thing I can think of. When it touches their tongue or they taste it, they don't like the taste of it and let it all spit out again. That's the best I can come up with. Because lots of animals do it on a... So look, he didn't drink any of that. Lots of elephants do it regularly. Michael, you're asking, do animals act more skittish after a snare accident? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, is the short answer. Any sort of negative experience or incident massively affects the way animals feel and therefore behave, because how an animal is feeling basically creates the behaviour we see. So if an elephant has, or any animal, even if it was a near miss, even if an animal maybe stepped on the edge of a snare and it twanged and it frightened them, even if it didn't actually snare them, even that is going to have an impact on their emotional well-being, therefore impacting their behaviour. Same with wild animals, same with domestic animals, so cats, dogs, any of the other animals that we have in our lives. Certainly if an animal gets a snare stuck on them, they're injured. Injury or pain also changes the behaviour of animals. And then even more so if an animal is caught in a snare and then humans have to intervene to remove that snare, it's a threefold. Emotional disturbance, whether or not they would be 3 times more skittish, it would depend on the individual, but that's a lot of trauma that animal will have experienced, and as a result will have a massive impact on their behaviour. And being more nervous, more skittish, possibly more aggressive, is definitely going to happen. Well, definitely, bold statement, but it's very, very likely to happen.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Whoa. This is action-packed.
Best sighting I've presented. I found myself with wild dogs. We chased the dogs around, chased them around. They ate an impala. We got the end of that. Then another impala went into Gowrie Dam down the road there, and the wild dogs went around. Eventually the impala came close to the bank. One wild dog went and grabbed it and then just pulled it out and just did what wild dogs do. It was an emotional experience, but it was very, very special. some of you out there are brilliant at identifying hyenas.
Now, why do you think people have got this huge misunderstanding about reptiles?
Right in front of me there was the face of an astounded buffalo bull.
This is live and interactive, so everybody, if you have any questions and comments, please do send them through and let us know what you would like.
Be tuskless, then that's not going to happen. It's difficult. I could guess. Ah, look at that. That's nice. Oh, you're having a good old sniff there, boy. I would go with an elephant on sort of bulk, on size, sometimes on behaviour. So if there's 3 elephants that all look about the same size, maybe if one of them gives way to another one more readily, the one that gave way might be younger. I think this is the same guy we were watching yesterday. And let's see if he's going to drink. He's developed an amazing adaptation to be able to drink water with that hole in his trunk. Let's see if he's going to show us. Animals are amazing, hey? So at a guess, this maybe is a snare injury. We never really know, but watch, hey? So like half of that trunk has got a gap through it. So he scoops that water and then turns it so the gap is facing up, because if he just did it normally, the water would fall out of that gap. It does take him a lot longer to drink than the others, but he seems to be managing just fine. But sorry, Lucy, I sidetracked. All of these bulls are adults. They are big. They are away from their breeding herds, so already that places them above their sort of 12, 15, 18, however old they were when they left their maternal herds. So they're all over 18. That sounds like they're all allowed to go to the pub. They're all over 18. You go on tusk size, then you go on bulk. I would place all of these elephants. And then you look at the area. Kenya, known for having elephants with big tusks, so that doesn't really help on gauging on tusk size because that's genetic. All of these elephants we're looking at, Lucy, are between 25 and 50. How's that? I might place that one with a damaged trunk. If you look at his temples, they're a bit more sunken than this other one that's closest to us, but that could be due to a lack of condition, so not necessarily an age thing. He might have lost condition because of this injury to his trunk. Dolly Flop UK. What a brilliant name, Dolly Flop UK. You must please join us tomorrow and ask us lots of things, because I think that's a brilliant name. I'm going to say it again, Dolly Flop UK. Can you tell me if this waterhole will dry up? It will not, as long as nothing changes. This is a pumped waterhole, so it's a pan, there's an inlet. People have created this pan and humans created an inflow of water. So if those situations stay the same, then this pan will have a little bit of water in it all the time. Elephants are known for digging up water pipes. If that happened, then this pan would indeed dry up. But this is not a natural pan, it's a pumped pan. So we should have activity and water here on an ongoing basis. Dolly Flop UK. I'm sorry if anyone's been struggling with my sound today. I believe it is probably, as usual, an internet issue my side, so I apologise for that. The joys of living in or around the bush. So see how this one closest to us, he just sort of scooped water in that trunk underneath into the mouth, and then this guy at the back here, oh shame, that does make me sad. But he's managing. And look how he's also resting. He's resting that trunk on his tusk while he's fiddling about with the water. We often see elephants resting their trunks on their tusks, just by the by. But it almost looked like he was resting that trunk on his tusk to sort of stabilise it a bit. He probably doesn't have as much control over the end of that trunk as he might have without that injury. Are you going to splash, boy? Look at that, look, he's fine. He's still managing to wet those warm underneath bits despite that injury. Animals are just so amazing. Look, he can get behind his ears. No problem. So amicable. Although that zebra's just thought better of it. Maybe I'll give it a minute. The guy at the back just having a wait. Look at this zebra. You often find as well, I mean, these are adult elephant bulls. Other than our incident a while ago with old One Ton, who gave someone a very, very solid nudge, we rarely see any pushing or shoving or anything like this, even with other animals. If this was a breeding herd at town, those zebras would have been chased by someone pretty quickly. But look how tolerant these big bulls are of each other and of other animals. They don't have the time or the energy for all this messing around, but look at all these zebra coming in now. That was a bit close. Spas, hi Spas, thanks for checking in. It is amazing seeing these elephants here at El Doño, and I'm glad it makes your afternoon. Especially when they're having a good scratch. We've seen some fabulous scratching elephants today. No, too close. We've seen some fabulous scratching elephants today. I've really enjoyed those three at Sarandella. But I'm glad you are enjoying these elephants, Spa.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. We'll be
And you pretend like you're a citizen, eh?
Got no idea what's going on this reserve.
Expecting the unexpected.
Are we stuck down there?
What am I trying to do? So we have another giant of Mabula.
That was incredible.
This is unbelievable.
It's going to be a spectacular afternoon. Can you hear that? The wild is calling.
Make clicky sounds, but I don't think nature designs us to make clicky sounds from sort of internal parts. Can't be particularly good for anything. Look at these antelope giants and pachyderm giants in the same space. These big eland bulls, I think they can weigh anything up to a ton. They're huge animals. And look at those stripes across the back of the legs there. I've never really noticed that. Well, I'm glad I gave some more thought to these to this elephants drinking and then dribbling scenario, but that is the only thing that I can think of that would make any sense to me. Is they siphon up some water, it hits their mouth, it doesn't taste nice, and they let it fall out again. This is actually a really nice example, I think. Look, male and female. There we go. That was a great example there of male and female stood together. And again, see back there, there's a chestnut, or more brown one, female at the front there, and then the greyer one, that's big male at the back. So if you see males and females together, often in bird species, or the classic I always enjoy is if they're brown eagles, you will say a tawny eagle's bigger than a Wahlberg's eagle, but unless I see them stood next to each other. But that was a beautiful example, male and female eland next door to one another. Dark Mane Lover, you love zebby bums. I think we all love zebby bums. And I think it's a really nice, if you look at those stripes and where they meet the tail, you can often, that would probably be, that and the top of the front leg would be two of the main ways I would practice differentiating between zebra. Lucy Coddy, thank you so much. I'm glad you are enjoying the channel. It's always my pleasure to share. I do realise I do sometimes go off on tangents. So you just get my thought process. You asked me how I age elephants and I discussed it for 5 minutes. So thank you for participating in the show, Lucy. And everyone else who has participated today. I love hearing from all of you, all of your questions, all of your comments, all of your thoughts. I will be back again tomorrow. I will be speaking to my internet provider in the meantime. Apologies if there have been drops this afternoon. And thank you for all sharing in my homework research. I enjoy it immensely. And it's a great opportunity for us all, I think, to keep learning together. If you think you know it all, then you should maybe reconsider. Which is one of the things I love so much about nature and the natural world, is we never know it all, and nor would I want to. This is beautiful. Everyone drinking here so nicely together. What a lovely scene to finish on. Anyone that did miss the show tomorrow, I strongly recommend you going back and finding that clip of that black eagle and the intestine scenario. I'm going to be going back and watching it again, and also speaking to a few other people about it, because I thought that was absolutely fascinating. And we must keep an eye out for these mating crocodiles. I'm also going to tell my friend who's at Tau that they must keep a close eye on those crocodiles and keep a lookout for any layings of eggs that we could maybe expect to look for from maybe October-ish. Very, very cool. But I hope everyone has a fabulous rest of your day or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for joining. I will be back again tomorrow. We will be checking all of these fabulous scenes again. And I will see you all tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye. 3, 2, 1. Hold on, speaking.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. Today we will be going on an adventure through some of South Africa's most beautiful wildlife havens. Our locations are unique, they are diverse, and they are at the forefront of ecotourism and conservation. The landscapes are spectacular, the wildlife is incredible, and we will be looking at all the interesting flora and fauna and generally bathing ourselves in Africa's beauty.
Good morning everybody, and